On the outskirts of a sleepy little town, past a twisted, abandoned forest trail, there was an old manor no one dared approach. It stood cloaked in shadows, windows shattered like broken teeth, and the entire structure seemed to breathe as if it were alive. The manor had a past, a terrible, unspeakable one. They said it was haunted by the spirit of Eleanor Wilde, a reclusive widow who had vanished one frigid winter night, her screams swallowed by the howling wind. Some claimed her body was never found, and others whispered that she had been lured into madness by a darkness in the manor itself, a force that delighted in despair. One autumn night, a group of friends dared each other to venture into the manor. They'd heard the legends, but they were skeptical, until they walked through the door. The moment they crossed the threshold, a shiver snaked down each of their spines. The air was thick, smelling faintly of rot, and the entire house seemed to hum with an ominous energy. Shadows danced along the peeling wallpaper, moving as if they were alive, yet the place was deathly quiet. One of the friends, Sam, led the way with a flashlight, but as they reached the top of the grand staircase, the beam flickered and died. The friends stood frozen, their breaths visible in the chill that seemed to come from nowhere. Suddenly they heard faint whispers, voices calling out from somewhere deep within the manor. "Help me!" a voice whispered from the darkness, weak and hollow, barely more than a sigh. They froze. They'd heard the stories, but they never thought they'd hear her voice. The whispers grew louder, pleading, desperate, until they could make out words. "I'm here. Please, don't leave me." The plea echoed through the empty halls, as if coming from every direction at once. Panic started to bubble up, but one of them, Jake, felt compelled to follow the sound. The others begged him not to, but he moved forward as though possessed, disappearing into a side corridor that the flashlight barely touched. A few minutes passed, and the others heard his scream, a sound so raw it clawed at their hearts. But when they rushed to find him, he was gone. Frantic, they ran from room to room, calling his name, but the whispers only grew louder, drowning out their own voices. Each friend, one by one, heard something calling to them, and before they knew it, they too were wandering, helpless, as if trapped in an endless maze. No one ever saw those friends again. The townspeople whispered that the house claimed them, just as it had claimed Eleanor Wilde. Some nights, if you pass by, you might hear faint echoes of voices, pleading, calling, the sound of footsteps that never reached the door. And if you listen closely, you can hear them still, trapped in the darkness forever, searching for an escape that will never come.